Hey everyone, this is Liz from peanutsorpretzels.com, a travel website devoted to making your trip planning easier and more fun. And today I'm going to show you how to use our free vacation planning template to make it easier to plan your next trip. Alright, so here are some of the things that our template can actually help you with. First of all, it's a pre-made template, so it's going to save you loads of time having to create this yourself from scratch. It's also easily customizable to suit your own needs, and it makes it easier for you to keep track of all the different details you might stumble upon when you're trying to plan your trip, whether it's taking in notes from friends and family, copying emails, or even copy and pasting website links to great destinations that you find. It's also organized for different sections depending on what stage you are in the vacation planning process. So maybe you're just looking for a place to put some general research, or even make some drafts for an itinerary, or even making your final travel itinerary. And this makes it easy for you to compare different trip ideas that you have. And one of the greatest things about our tool is that we have budgeting calculators included in the template. So this way, if you have a couple of different vacation ideas, you can sit back and see, how much each vacation is going to cost and make a decision on which one is best for you and your family. And this helps you be able to get the best trip for your money. And we know that this is the number one thing that people are looking for because we travel all the time and we always want to get the most for our money. All right, so let's check it out. I'm going to switch over here to the template. And the first thing you'll see when you open it is that it's an Excel file. So when you download it, it'll look just like this. But if you use a Mac computer, you can also open this with the Mac Numbers app as well. On the bottom, we have a number of different tabs that are already pre-formatted and ready to go. The first one is the Instructions tab, and this is actually what I'm going to explain to you today, so I'm not going to go over it, but it is here in the worksheet so that you can refer to it later. You'll see on the bottom we have a tab for your final itinerary, some drafts, and then a couple research worksheets. So first I'm going to look at the general research worksheet. This is where you can actually just keep track of some of those different ideas that you stumble across. And you don't actually need to be actively planning a vacation at this time to use this. Just put some information here, then save the file and come back to it a few months down the road when you're ready to start planning a trip. Maybe you're starting to get ideas for your summer vacation next year, but you're not ready to start planning. This is a good place to put it so you can refer to it later. You can also modify any of these worksheets. You can add columns, rows, delete, or change the titles here, whatever works for you. If you want, you can fill this out completely, or you can just fill in a little bit here and there. It's completely up to you. The next worksheet is actually our destination worksheet, and this is helpful when you want to go more in-depth on one specific place. So for example, maybe you want to plan a trip to New York City, and you might want to make some notes here about the different places you want to visit, some tours and activities. Maybe there are some restaurants you want to eat at or hotels that you know you want to stay at. So you can put all those details here. And you can also go ahead and start thinking about your budget too. So there's a nice little place to put that as well. The next section are these draft itineraries. Now you can see it goes into a little bit more detail here. You can put in the destination at the top and you can start typing in some things. But the great thing about the draft itinerary is that you can create multiple versions for your trip. So we have two here. If you want to make an additional, you can just right click and copy and make a new worksheet. So you can create as many drafts as you want. Maybe it's a 5-day itinerary, 7-day, or maybe you want to compare a trip to Hawaii versus a trip to the Caribbean. So you can make two different draft itineraries. And the greatest thing about this one is that you can actually start to input your budget here. And that's what really makes this template stand out. So anything that's in red is actually a formula, and you don't have to type that in. But let's say, for example, you're going to go to New York City and you know your hotel's going to cost $150. You can put that in here and you see it automatically updates. And I do already have some food budget in there. So every time you add to it, everything's going to update. It makes it super easy for you to plan your trip and get an idea for budget. You can do the same thing with flights or transportation. Maybe you found some flights that are going to cost you $500. You can see that everything adds up. Same thing with activities. You can, put tickets to museums, anything like that in here. Yeah, and everything's going to add up. So it makes it really easy for you to start planning your trip. And if you make a couple different drafts, you can compare your itineraries and see which trip is actually the best for your money. All right? And once you've finished that, when you're ready to come up with your final itinerary, you can go here to the Final tab, and you can just copy and paste if you want from the draft itineraries, or you can type it in again. But you will notice that this worksheet is a little different because we have a spot here for contact information. So maybe it is for an activity or a tour or a hotel. And once you start making reservations, there's a place where you could put in your confirmation numbers too. Okay, so once you have this filled out, it makes it really easy for you to share it with your friends and families, or even print out a copy or email yourself a copy to take with you for your trip. All right, so that is our vacation itinerary. So now, how can you get a copy of this? Well, first, you should go to peanutsorpretzels.com. That's our website, and there's a couple ways to access it. You can click on the top menu item called Tips and Advice, and then just scroll down on the right-hand side until you see this picture, Free Vacation Planning Template. You can also read any of our blog posts, and you will also see this image on the right-hand sidebar. You just need to click on it to download. And while you're on the website, make sure to check out some of our other useful resources, such as our free ebook, 10 Tips to Plan the Best Trip. You'll also find our Ultimate Cheat Sheet download, which is our most popular download on the site. More than 15,000 people have downloaded it and said it's really been helpful for their trip. We have a number of sample itineraries, including pre-downloaded itineraries that are ready to go for your trips. We have some travel guides, lots of articles about tips and travel advice, as well as stories about our own experiences in different destinations that's going to help make your trip better. And we also have some great tools and resources for you to do it yourself, to plan your own trip, or you can just reach out to us and ask for our help. We're happy to help people plan their trips. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this resource is really going to help you plan your next vacation, and happy trip planning.